If you are thinking about moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, and you have been considering Bountiful as a suburb that you would like to explore, don't consider purchasing a home without knowing these 5 things about living in Bountiful. So I have lived in the Bountiful area for the last 20 years and know the good and the bad, the ugly, the inside, and the out of the different neighborhoods. Here's what you'll learn in this video. The biggest mistakes buyers make when moving to Bountiful. One thing you must know about living in Bountiful, an often overlooked detail that can make or break your enjoyment of living in a new home in the area, and some important research to conduct so that you will know about your potential new neighborhood. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Salt Lake City, Utah, subscribe below and tap on the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know all the juicy details of Salt Lake City, Utah, and the lifestyle around here. My name is Janet with Living in Salt Lake City, Utah. We get calls and emails from people like you all day looking to make a move to Salt Lake City and the surrounding suburbs, and we absolutely love it. Whether you are moving in 9 days or 90 days or a year, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Our contact information is below. We can help you make a smooth move to whatever area you're looking at in the surrounding suburbs of Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's dive in. One of the biggest mistakes people make when moving to that area is they are not prepared for the weather. They don't have the right kind of car that they need to safely navigate the roads in the winter. And then they're just not prepared for the summer heat when it hits them and they can't find ways to enjoy it. In Bountiful, winter brings its fair share of snow. So you've got to make sure that you're ready for some of those heavy snowstorms. That might mean a lot of extra heavy shoveling and being out there bundled up in those chilly temperatures. Bountiful is east of I-15 and partially sits on a hilly terrain. There's some steep hills as you make your way through the town. In the heavy winter months, which typically are December, January, and February, if there's a lot of snowfall, sometimes you can't get through the neighborhood or up and down your driveway unless you have the right car and excellent tires. So you'll want a good system for that snow removal, and you'll want to make sure that you attend to your driveway and your walkways. This means you might need to be willing to set aside time to bundle up and conquer the mounds of snow. Even though this is only a few months of the year, depending on the specific area in Bountiful that you live, it might become necessary to change your tires to winter tires during these snowy months. And once the snow melts, to be able to change them back to avoid any kind of major catastrophe. My daughter and I had a horribly frightening experience just a few years ago when she went to go visit a friend in Bountiful. When I took her, it wasn't even snowing, but by the time I went to pick her up, it was a full-blown blizzard. White out. So getting there, I made it there. It was a little scary, but on the way home was when the real catastrophe happened. As I went down those hills, my car just slid out of control. There was nothing we could do. I ended up hitting a curb, popping my tire, ended up being an actual blessing, because if I would have continued to slide down that hill, I would have hit a major intersection, and that would have been totally frightening, because more than likely we would have gotten in a horrible crash. So just so you know, you want to be prepared for the weather. The funny thing is that once you hit the summer, you are typically in June, July, and August, and there's going to be sweltering heat. So then you're going to be looking for any excuse to find a nice air-conditioned room because the heat can become unbearable. The good news is that fall and spring are delightful. Just when you think you can't stand it anymore, typically the season changes. The changing leaf colors in the fall is absolutely stunning. It's a perfect opportunity to sneak up the canyon and enjoy nature. You might want to take a nice drive. You might want to jump out of the car and take a hike or a bike ride. There's many options of where you can go. The spring flowers are absolutely gorgeous and so inviting to be outside on all the trails and parks in the area. So if you're considering making a move to Bountiful, just remember about half of the year, you're going to have to deal with extreme hot or extreme colds. In my other videos, I will be introducing you to some of the fun places that you can snow ski, snowboard, snowmobile, or sled. Also, I'll share with you the best places to boat, water ski, paddleboard, hike, and bike so that you can enjoy nature, just in case you still want to make that move to Bountiful. The cost of living in Bountiful is slightly higher than the national average, especially when it comes to housing. Bountiful, as an older town, it was established in 1847, but it didn't really start to grow until about the late 1940s. Currently, the population is over 45,000 residents. The median income is just under 100,000, and 73% of residents actually own or occupant homes. Another issue that we run into is limited housing supply. This leads to a problem where Bountiful has limited supply of homes as far as new construction and those types of options. Many residents who call Bountiful home just don't want to move until they die. I know that sounds a little morbid, but actually a lot of the homes that you find in the area, it'll be common to see estate sales. And this can mean that you need to be prepared to invest in updates and customizations of the home in the area. Therefore, there's limited options as far as new construction, and the style of the homes might be discouraging if you're looking for a good open plan with a large amount of parking, larger closets, and a more modern floor plan. There are, however, some amazing homes that have all of the above, but the price point might not be in reach. So it can be a little frustrating, and it might cause you to reconsider moving to Bountiful. Something that people don't tend to know about Bountiful is the lack of diversity in the city. City life is limited. One of the biggest mistakes people make in moving to Bountiful is not understanding the cultural makeup and the traditions of the residents in the area. According to Wikipedia, the racial makeup of the area is actually 86.4% are white and 89.6% of residents speak only English at home. So many families and young professionals live in Bountiful, and the residents tend to be conservative. There's little to no nightlife in Bountiful, so if you're looking for something fun to do in the evening, you're going to have to more than likely make a 20-minute drive to downtown Salt Lake so that you can find that nightlife you're looking for. So if this bothers you, it might be a good time for you to check out some of my other videos regarding other suburbs in the area that maybe are a little bit more conducive to your lifestyle. There are actually many families in the area of Bountiful that have lived there for generations. The tight-knit community can feel exclusive at times if you're not willing to put in the effort to get out there. So keep that in mind if you're moving to Bountiful. Something that you'll find very interesting is the deer problem. This is probably something you've never dreamed of or thought of. Sometimes the locals complain about the deer in the area. You must pay attention while driving in these neighborhoods. The deer like to bound out in front of your car, and usually they come in a pack. Typically, you're going to need to be watching for companions if one comes. The deer will come right into your yard. They'll eat your vegetation. They'll leave you little gifts of droppings everywhere. The city page actually provides information on solutions that they're working on to combat the deer problem. It says that in response to the concern and complaints regarding the deer, Bountiful City actually finalized a deer control plan where they will be working on maintaining the number of deer in the area. The purpose for the plan is not to remove all the deer in the city, but to help control the urban deer population and its impact on the community. The plan effective date will continue all the way until July of 2025, with the approved deer removal beginning on August 1st and ending on December 31st of each year. There's also a map that you can find on the website that shows you the approved areas and the seasons as well. It also states that you are prohibited to feed the deer. So if you're tempted, you might want to rethink that. Although you might have an affinity for Bambi, you could find yourself wishing the deer would stay off of your property and out of the streets. And as a final freaky fact about Bountiful, I'm sure you've more than likely heard of the serial killer Ted Bundy. He actually snatched his victim, Deborah Kent, from Viewmont High School, which is located in Bountiful, in November of 1974. There you have it, the top 5 reasons you might just want to take Bountiful off the list. If this list hasn't changed your mind, you might want to watch the blog video and the map video that I do in regards to Bountiful so that you can learn more about the housing, town charm, the best places to eat and play in the area.